right, everyone, welcome to the stream. Sorry, it took a little bit of time here. It took a little 4 extra minutes. As you can see, we set up some overlays here, and it took a little bit of time to really put it up here properly. And I'm also using Streamlabs OBS instead of OBS now to stream, which is a little bit different and sometimes doesn't work very well. So just bear with us a little bit. And in other news, we got a few people actually donating some money. So let's give a shout out to those people. If I can click on here, yeah. So we have Nerni and Elendil and Ale that donated some money here last week. So now we can actually run Zoom without any problems. Yes, maybe if you saw the stream before, you know that we had some problems with Zoom cutting out after 40 minutes because it was free, a free version. But now we have the paid version. So now we can go on forever and ever. So yeah, welcome to the stream. Hey, hello everyone. How you doing?
Hello.
Doing well.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Did you have a chance to take a look at the stream to see how it looks like with the overlay? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
What do you
looks
think?
great.
It looks good, huh?
Yeah.
I think so. So let's write something in the chat to see if it works. Welcome to the stream. Does it pop up? Oh yes, it does. Beautiful. Awesome. So that's good. Is this the right picture in Roll20? No, it's not. This is not you guys. So maybe we can start as we always do with some short introductions. I'm just gonna put you in the right order on Roll20 so you can see it's Korbli, Bodgeir, Mane, and Sulvig. So I'm just gonna change the position so you can kind of understand which order you're in. So it's Korbli. Let's see. Korbli, Bodgeir. So we don't want Loki there, we want Bodgeir. So Korbli, Bodgeir, Mane, Sulvig. So now in the order in Roll20 for you guys, the stream can't see this, but for you guys at least, it should be the correct order that we are talking in. So let's start with Pixie, Korbli.
So Korbli is a dark elf, kinda Korpikalli, it's called, and he's a Vitner weaver, a magician who specializes in death magic, apparently.
Apparently? Was that
apparently.
Surprise or something, or what?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna use the other magic I can. No, but I've used it twice. And the death hand is way better than anything else I have.
Yeah, strangely people start hurting and stuff in their heart attacks.
Sudden heart attacks from nowhere.
Yeah,
and I'm just standing in a corner screaming my lungs out. Yeah.
Okay, actually this is quite nice with so far on the Streamlabs OBS, because you can see the chat inside OBS, and we're usually keeping OBS open when I play the game with you guys. So that's good.
I'm happy it worked out for you.
Yes. I had one problem now though. It seems like the space on my disk is... Oh, I have 3 megs left on my disk. I guess I didn't delete the videos from last week. So that's bad. Let's do that. Because the recording stops, you see. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
We're back. Okay, Korbli. Nice. What about Bodgeir?
Bodgeir is a traveling blacksmith. He's gonna try and fix everyone's equipment eventually once we stop fighting things. And probably fail, but he'll try. Because it'd be funny to fail. But yeah, he hits stuff with his hammer, sometimes the thing is alive, and then he hits it with the hammer, and it's still alive because it doesn't do enough damage to get through the armor most of the time. But he tries, and that's what's important.
Actually, about your hammer, since it's a blunt weapon, I talked about this before, about having it as a special rule about maces and stuff, that they do more damage against armor. So we could either have it as an armor penetration, or just do more damage when fighting armor. I guess it kind of works the same way.
Yeah.
So what would be a good number? Maybe +2 or something?
That works.
Well, this is a heavy weapon, right?
I'll take
two-handed
I'll
weapon?
take 3 damage.
It's like a two-handed weapon, right?
No, I use a one-handed heavy.
Okay, so +2 then, and if it's a heavy blunt weapon, it's +3 then.
Oh.
Okay, my it doesn't want to record today, so I guess I have to download it from Twitch later, which actually works pretty well. What's up with my disk space today? I have no idea. Why do I?
See, I don't have those problems because I have many terabytes of space.
Yeah, I have no idea. And maybe I set something up maybe I didn't set it up right in Streamlabs OBS. Maybe it's just having the maximum quality or something, and it just takes a shit ton of space. That might be it. All right. What about the Mane? Who's Mane?
You muted yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So I'm Polka. I'll be playing the character Mane Haumundsson, a priest on the run from his church from Westmark, who happens to have magic, a lot of magic, not as much skill in priestly stuff, but he's getting there. I think that's a pretty good. Yeah, he's a bit of a divided character that way. He's tormented by the dark powers that he possesses, or at least he thinks of them as dark powers, mostly because his religion doesn't approve of magic at all.
Right. On the stream, I put you down as a Vitner Fever, but you have some Demon Walker as well. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But mostly a Vitner Fever, but some Demon Walker.
I didn't have space on nameplate to put in both of them. So. Okay, and then we have Sulvig, and as Sulvig talk, I'm gonna get my books because I realized I didn't bring any books to my computer. So how can I play the game? So Sulvig.
All right, so now that the GM's gone, I can spew some bullshit. Sulvig is the bearer of the plague troll head. He has a little friend that he put on a stick, and he brings it about everywhere. He likes to talk to his stick, but his friends don't like him. They think it's filthy. It's weird, and maybe it's evil. But Sulvig doesn't care. He loves his stick.
You said you were going to say bullshit. That's all true.
Well, I mean, not really when Sulvig doesn't love his stick, but I thought it would be funnier if he did. Maybe he will get to love his stick. Maybe that's actually the story of today. This will be a love story where Sulvig discovers his feelings for the stick and gets to know it in her. I don't know what the gender of the stick is. And maybe they will live happily ever after.
Or maybe
Not that.
Yay! Stick party! And then when he's not carrying his stick around, Sulvig is some kind of warrior with some skills on the side, like bashing people in the head from behind, or spitting in their eyes, or smashing them skull. He's fancy like that.
Right. So I guess since I moved all my furniture around, as you can see, perhaps in the background here, if you see, I moved my furniture around in my apartment yesterday and put up a TV on the wall and stuff with my father. And I guess because I put away all of my books and stuff, so kind of forgot that you need books when you play role-playing games, and I hid them in a corner in my bookcase. But I found them now, so don't worry about it, guys. So, who wants to tell us what happened last time?
So we went down this ravine in search of the. I don't know what his exact title is. I guess farm master or
clan head.
Clan head. Yeah, right.
Like a clan chieftain, you could say. If they are not a shield troll, they're kind of like the clan chieftain.
Yeah. Anyway, the clan chieftain's daughter got kidnapped by trolls. We followed the tracks, and we went down a ravine. We met some goblins on the shelf. We threw them food, and then we talked a little with them, and we now know that we are hot on the trail. Yeah, blazing along.
That's right.
And then we found some some actual trolls, and we murdered them without saying anything.
Yeah, because we saw them. We saw they had a body, something that looked like a small human, on a on a stick, just barbecuing over a fire, essentially, and we assumed that it was the girl, and so exacted our revenge. But then we discovered that the thing on the fire was only a goblin.
Yeah.
So we murdered a couple of trolls for no reason.
Well, we avenged the goblin. That's something.
I mean, yeah, true. I mean, yeah, yeah, exactly.
We made friends with the goblins. Trolls, they're dicks.
Well, I mean, they are trolls. They deserve to die and have their heads put on a stick, right?
Yeah, and then Sulvig put a head on a stick, and started bearing around the plagueness of it all, and got half the party sick with troll disease or whatever it was.
Right, we have one person that hasn't been sick yet, right? Hasn't gotten sick yet. Yeah, Korbli. And that's good. But you kind of have to stay away from either the corpse head or Bodgeir's dirty troll armor that he's carrying around. So yeah, that's an interesting choice. And I think people were like, so Loki, what is Sulvig doing? But that's fun. That's fine. I'm trying to see which one here is yours. We have, but this one is not you guys. This is here. These two. Perfect. Oh yeah, you killed
I'm
them.
just like, what was the girl's name?
Sola.
Oh, we never asked.
Sola.
I'm pretty sure.
Nobody knows.
I'm pretty sure we just didn't ask.
No, but wasn't you said it? What was her name? Sola.
Sola, yeah, like Sola. Like
Sola.
sunbathing in Swedish. Sola means sunbathing in Swedish, Ryan. For you non-Swedish.
We must save the brave princess sunbathing.
The maiden sunbathing. So that works. Anyway, so okay. Did you guys leave the battle? Yeah, you did leave the battle. You didn't.
Yeah, we made camp on the map, but rotate. I mean, completely different map.
Yeah.
Not
let's show you guys that map. That's completely different. This is not you guys, but I never reuse maps or anything.
Never
do that. So now you know it's different. But you didn't have any random encounters during the night, I think.
No.
So it was
and
fine.
then we were walking, like after we camped, we started walking, and then we started hearing a lot of activity, like the sound of metal and stone, I think, or was it?
Right. Maybe I should actually pull up the adventure on my other screen here so I can actually play it for you guys. I'm very prepared today, I feel like.
No shit.
This is the one.
No shit.
And actually, I usually pull up the books here as well. It's easier to have them and be able to search and stuff in PDF form here.
Oh yeah, I need the books too.
It's so convenient having PDFs. Be able to search for words and stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, PDF, you can do it.
I bought a school book on like an online version, and then it was an online version. It wasn't a PDF, so I have to be. It's worthless. There's no search function. You have to be online to use it. If you're not inactive for 20 minutes, it shuts down.
What did you buy? You said
a school book.
Oh, you mean like for your studying or something?
Yeah.
And okay, so it's not a PDF, and you actually need to be online to use it.
Yep.
That's stupid.
It was worthless.
Yeah.
So praise the PDFs. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love having the books. They are so nice holding and like reading them that way. But yeah. Like all is said in the chat here as well. Like Riot Online is also quite nice for searching and stuff. But I still prefer the PDFs, honestly. I mean, I made an account on Riot Online, and I looked through. I mean, they have some Swedish resources that people don't have in English yet, so that's nice, I guess. But since we're getting the Stormlandish book and stuff now pretty soon, I hope we should be fine with that. I'm just putting up my books here. I think my computer is a little bit slower with using this program instead of the old OBS. Like the OBS is just so like dumbed down and easy to use, and like there's no extra stuff. But on the Streamlabs version, it's quite a lot of extra stuff. Okay, so here's the adventure. That's good. Let's go here and see what's happening next. Right. So, as you guys said, we ended up with you guys just hearing pickaxes and like metal against stone and gruff voices talking. It's still drizzling a little bit. It's not raining very heavily right now, but you can kind of hear it over the drizzle. And there seem to be some men at work ahead of you guys. So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna draw my bow, just so I have it ready in case, and look around nervously. Like, I don't know what that is.
Quick question: are trolls known to do this kind of stuff? So, like, we're hearing people with pickaxes and blacksmith stuff, I guess.
You can do a race check, right?
No, because I don't have that.
I have.
Well, you can ask a shot at them.
Well, I ask my knowledgeable friends.
See here, I have here a total of 10. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So /R 1d20 less than 10. Oh, come on.
Starting good today, guys.
Yep.
So yeah, Polka is kind of Mon is kind of thinking about it a while, but like you do know that goblins like to use pickaxes, because goblins are kind of live down in the dark with the dwarves, you know, and they like to get the shiny things and use them, and they're quite good crafters actually, goblins. Like the goblins you met in the ravine, right? Or the goblin you met on the spit. That was also a two-handed sword. But they're usually not like out in the open. I mean, you think that probably there's no like cave around the corner that you hear this coming from. They're usually deep down in the ground when they do their work, you know. They like to stay in the dark, and this is in the middle of the afternoon, so it's quite light outside, and the goblins wouldn't be out in this light. They're quite afraid of sunlight, actually.
Yeah.
There are even some rumors that goblins turn to stone if they get touched by the sun. But you don't really know if that's true or not. So what about...
But I know it.
Oh, did somebody actually succeed?
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, you have heard of, like, great trolls. I guess that's what you want to know about, right? Great trolls.
Yeah.
So the great trolls sometimes are used as kind of slave labor by other species, like bigger troll species, like the king trolls and stuff. And then they can, I mean, they are not smart, but they are smart enough to use pickaxes on stone and like mine. But they probably wouldn't be smart enough to figure out and do that themselves. They think like, what is this piece of iron that's so ugly and useless when you can get this nice big glass bead that is very shiny and worthless. But to them, they think it's really nice because it's bigger and it's shiny. So they like, great trolls are famous for being stupid, and they kind of like, if they have the choice between like a small stick of iron or a small stick of gold or something, and like a big glass bubble or glass like shiny thing, they would take the bigger thing every time. So they wouldn't be inclined to mine by themselves. But if they have like a king troll or something telling them to do something, or they have like a very strong or a little bit smarter great troll, they could probably mine. So it could be trolls, yeah. That was a long explanation, huh?
Alright, so I'm gonna try and sneak on them. I will put the stick in the earth for now because it is melee, so it will get me detected, and I will try and sneak closer to get to see what's happening.
Alright, roll a sneak.
Snock.
The sneak would be walking in the shadows, right?
Yeah.
I'm always confused. Wait, yeah. Okay. Boom. Ugh! Come on, this starts out great.
Oh, that's
First roll of the day. Boom.
That's a fumble. So Sulvig is kind of walking a little bit behind you guys, and you hear some kind of big rumble and in the bush behind you guys, and you see Sulvig like tripping on a rock and falling with his head first into one of the bushes, making a big ruckus. And as this happens, the sound of the pickaxes stops. And you hear somebody...
Sulvig, what did you do that for?
Was it in a language? Was it in just the language? What is it that I can speak? Was it in rock?
Let me see if you guys speak this language.
But that's a no for me.
Let's see. What languages do you guys speak?
Röna,
and Rock.
Röna, Rock, and Estiatica.
You speak 3 languages?
Yes.
Okay.
Estiatica is Latin, basically, the fancy language.
So let's see. Bodgeir speaks only rock. Korbli, Ekan, rock, Nana. Rona, rock, and Asiatic. Yes. What language was Asiatic? You said who speaks this language?
It's Latin. It's not Elvish, but it's close to Elvish, sort of, and it's like the land for scholars and knowledge and things.
Right. So none of you understand what they're saying. It kind of sounds like a pretty gruff language, like. And then you hear sound of footsteps. Pretty heavy footsteps.
Okay, so can I get back up and get in position? Try to hide
of course.
again?
You got back up pretty straight away. I mean, you felt kind of embarrassed this happening, and you just like jump up on your feet straight away, pretty much.
Okay, can I try to hide again?
Yeah, sure. You want to hide standing still, or do you want to hide walking?
Well, I mean, we hear the footsteps, so I guess we can kind of guess where they're coming from and where they're going. So we'll try to get on the sides of their expected trajectory, get into a bush or something, just to, be on the side and invisible.
Yeah. You can do camouflage then, if you want to hide.
Yup. Success.
Okay. And you have a skill value of 8, right?
Yeah.
So there's a 5 difference there. Okay, what about the rest of you guys? What do you guys do?
I'm gonna hide behind Bodgeir.
You could speak with the goblins, right? They understand you. You can do that now, right? You speak goblin, but not goblin? I don't understand what happened back then. But
We don't know who they are. Like if it sounds like they're just about to see us, then but if the sound of the footsteps are further away, then anyway, no. Mana's just gonna stand behind Bodgeir and like hide and
Okay. I'll try and hide him behind me.
Do you want to hide, Bodgeir, or do you want to?
I mean, I'm not going to be able to hide.
So you're just gonna stand in the road, pretty much, right?
Might as well. It'll make it harder to see the others because they'll look at me.
Right. Yeah, Bodgeir is quite tall.
I'll
right?
fail hiding, so I might as well just accept my fate.
But yeah, you're very tall, but you're not very broad, right? Like you're quite lean. So
I mean,
but I guess you will be in front anyway. So after a few minutes, the footsteps are getting closer, and around the bend comes a gruff-looking dwarf.
It's dwarf.
He's pretty well dressed, and he looks like an authority figure with a big beard. He has he looks a little bit older. He has a little bit of a gray hair on the sides. He has brown hair, brown big beard, and pretty nice. Like he's not clad as a warrior, but he has some kind of basic leather armor, and he has nobleman's clothes.
I mean, I'll wave and I'll ask if he speaks Vrok. Hi, you speak Vrok?
So he when he sees you around the corner there, he stops and he kind of turns back around and then waves his hand a little bit, and a few other dwarves come. Seven other dwarves come.
Oh. We can't take 7.
And he says in broken rock, "Oh, greetings, traveler. What are you doing here on the road this time of day, in this weather?"
We're hunting down some trolls who kidnapped a girl.
Trolls, you say? Did you hear that sound just now? What was that? It sounded like somebody was doing something stupid.
Yeah.
And Mana's gonna poke up behind Bodgeir's back, like to the side. Like, yeah, that was our friend. Sulvig, I think you can come out now. They don't seem to be hostile.
I will keep on hiding for now if no one's detected me.
Korbli can go instead and be like.
Let's see if he detected you, huh? Nope.
I can't even find you, even though he knows that you might be around.
Yeah, he's not very good at finding stuff.
Yeah.
Does he have a big nose?
Bigger than a human's, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, the fleshy dwarven nose. So he still didn't get an answer. What was that sound? Well, yeah, you said it was your friend, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
He tripped while hiding, which he's doing right now. You probably can't see him.
And they're all looking around, like, what? Okay.
I don't know where he is. He hid.
And he kind of looks at you guys and say, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, don't worry about him. Unless, of course, you suddenly die, then worry. But you probably won't.
We're so sorry that we disturbed you. Could you, if you've seen a trio of trolls, 3 trolls, great trolls, pass by or anything, if you've maybe heard anything, we would be very grateful if you would tell us.
Actually, he looks a little bit behind him at his friends, and he says, he's not here right now, but one of our brothers saw something last night. Maybe we can talk with him. Why don't you come back with us to our camp? It's just around the corner.
Okay.
Sure.
Sulvig, where are you?
Just leave him. Let him hide.
So I will keep on hiding and follow them in the bushes, try and see where they're going, but from a distance.
All right, so here we are. So you're coming from the south there, and this is their camp. So as you come around the corner, following these dwarves, you see there's like a little ridge, and on top of the ridge is like a small mountain. And in the mountainside, there is the beginnings of a cave entrance. Like they're like using the pickaxes and stuff to carve out a big square hole in the side of the mountain. And next to the hole on the ground is this kind of piece of worked stone that is kind of pretty much the same size as this hole. And you see some some equipment for camping and stuff. And there's like a little bit of a chair and a table, and on the table are some paper, some kind of scrolls and stuff. And we got a new follower, Andrkud. Thank you for following. So that's what you see, and they made their way up through there's like a little slope that you can walk up to get on the ridge. Underneath the ridge is like the ridge kind of like sticking out a little bit above the ground, so you can kind of there's like a space underneath the ridge a little bit, but they are on top of the ridge now, and they kind of, the other dwarves kind of go back to work, and as they approach, another dwarf comes up to this who you reckon to be the foreman of the group, and the foreman talks with him a little bit. You guys can't really hear what they're saying, and they're talking in Futark, so you don't really understand anyway. And then he turns around to you guys and like motions you to sit down at this table with all his what you can see now must be some kind of plans. And he said, sorry my friends, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Jordir, and this is Bo, my little brother. He saw something last night, didn't you, Bo? And this little guy, he's a little bit smaller, much younger dwarf, and he turns to Jordir and says something in Futark, like, and the Nordist, Bo said he saw 3 trolls yesterday, but they were quite far away on the road going north. Are you looking for the trolls? Are you looking for these trolls? What happened?
Yeah, they kidnapped a girl, a human girl from a farm a few days away from here, in that direction, pointing back from the direction we came.
And he turns to Bo again and says something in Futark and turns back and says, he couldn't see a girl, but it was quite far away, so could have been a girl there, of course. Not really sure. Would you want to join us for evening meal?
What time is it over there? Asking the GM.
I mean, it's not dark yet, but there might be a few hours left until dark. Not too many hours, you reckon? You could.
Sure. If you're so kind to offer it, we'll take the offer.
So a little bit further up in the camp, there's some Well, actually, I guess it's inside the actual cave. So inside the cave, they have some cooking equipment and stuff, and they prepare a little bit of a meal. It's quite a hearty meal, like a lot of roots and kind of meat. It tastes a little bit like pork, but not really. If you guys ate like wild boar meat or something at some point, it kind of tastes more like that, but not really either. And they, of course, they have big mugs of ale that they give you guys if you are inclined to drink that kind of stuff. And they're quite a happy and smiling and laughing bunch, and it seems like they telling some stories. And there's one dwarf that picks out a drum that he had with him, and he kind of plays and kind of tells a story playing on the drum. Of course, all in Futhark, so you guys don't really understand, but it seems like the other dwarves are happily joining in, clapping their hands, and enjoying this story while you eat. He kind of the main dwarf, the Nordir, he kind of looks at Korbli and says, "Did you guys introduce your names or anything, by the way?"
I think we have by this point. We've probably definitely done that. Like,
Yeah.
I was about to say that. Oh, how rude of us! My name is Haumundsson. Nice to meet you. And but yeah, I didn't get the chance because you were full on in narration mode. So
Right. Well,
by the way, because we left me hiding, seeing that the dwarves are quite friendly, I would have followed from a distance and then entered the meeting house. I don't know where they are, a bit afterwards. And if no one asks me any question, I would just sit near the others. But you tell me if they do ask questions.
Sure. So, I mean, of course, the dwarves has kind of been looking at Korbli sideways a little bit. Not hostile or anything, but kind of curiously looking at you. And after a while, when you got a few drinks in you guys, and Jordi says, "So, Master Korbli, we don't see many Korpikalli this far north. Well, what are you doing up here? An elf like you?"
Well, I'm actually from the Copperwoods.
Copperwoods. I think I heard of this. It's a big forest in south, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. On the really down south, and I've been traveling with these people for the past week.
Interesting.
I owed a debt to a farm master, and I'm still paying it off.
Oh, really? Is this the same farm master as the one that had the daughter you talk about?
No, it's like the cousin of the one that got his daughter stolen, kidnapped.
Human relations are very complicated.
I know, right?
And he says it's so much easier for us. We're all brothers.
It seems like a fine way of living.
And you also notice that there's no female dwarves anywhere. And they all do look kind of similar to each other, like with the same brown hair as the Njordil has. You can kind of, even though you're not used to looking at dwarves, you can kind of recognize that they are siblings or something like that.
Yeah.
So this themselves calling each other brothers might actually be that they are brothers, not that they just are in a brotherhood or something.
Yeah.
So he continued eating, and if you guys want to ask him some questions or anything, you're welcome. He seemed quite open.
I would like to look around in the camp and in the building that we're in. Are these dwarves rich?
Don't steal from the friendly dwarves.
I mean,
You're gonna die.
They're quite well equipped, so you would say yes. They are. I mean, of course. I mean, you haven't really seen dwarves before, have you? So you don't really know what would constitute a rich dwarf or not, but they are well dressed even for miners, you know, like but of course they worked all day, and so they're very dusty, but like they're well dressed underneath, and like the equipment that they have around are really well made. Like even the picks have beautiful engravings and stuff on the metal, and yeah, everything looks just very, very well made. The only thing that looks a little bit weird is the table, since it's made of wood. You reckon that maybe they don't really work with wood so much. It looks like sturdy and functional, but it's not as beautiful as the metal pieces that you see around.
Okay, so I would like to check out whether there are weapons around, and if these weapons look like those that were used by the trolls that you said were quite well equipped.
Oh, that's actually really...
You mean the goblins?
Well, yeah, you said that the troll had a two-handed sword that he impaled the goblin on and then put on the fire to cook. And you made references to other kind of equipment that were quite...
I mean, it was nicer than most troll weapons would be, but it was still just a normal quality, like grey iron.
It's not like
sword.
dwarf grade weapons.
No. It wasn't great in any way. It was just a normal quality, and that's kind of unusual for trolls because they usually don't keep their weapons in check, or like they don't take care of their stuff. You know, they don't care. So,
okay.
The bar is set very low for trolls.
Yeah, the bar is very, very low for trolls.
Okay, all right. And so, are there any nice weapons?
If you look around a little bit, I mean, of course, the foreman has a really nice looking seax, a dagger, in his belt. It's like you can't see the blade or anything, but like the pommel and stuff is very beautifully made. Like the grip and stuff is made of this very clear bronze with some nice engravings and stuff, and they all have like hand axes and stuff, or hammers in their belts as like sidearms, and they're all very nicely made. And they don't seem like that they're equipped for fighting or anything. It's just for personal defense, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they're not wearing armor or anything, except the foreman, which wearing like a leather armor. But the rest of them are just in the work clothes. You know?
Okay, so they just look like a bunch of miners, and there's nothing exceptional lying around.
Not that you can tell, no.
Okay, all right. Thanks.
I would like to ask the dwarf, what are they even doing here?
Yeah, what's the hole for?
Yeah, what? This isn't typical dwarf land, is it?
No, no. Like you reckon they are quite far away from dwarf land. Like this is southeast of the closest place you know that dwarves live is the Troll Ridge Mountains, and that's in the northwest of Aidland. On the border to other countries next to it, which I don't remember the name of right now. And this is very far away. I mean, this is far away. But you don't really know, of course, you don't really know how far their countries or nations reach underground. But it seems like this would be far away. So he kind of looks at you and says, "We are from Ivonda. We have recently expanded our nation southwards, and we needed some more space. And as you can see, he turns around and like motions at the hole in the wall. And we are making a new entrance to our kingdom here. Oh. And of course, we are planning to talk with the local landowners and make sure everything is in order. But usually when we do this, the trade that we bring is a welcome thing for the local leaders. We don't worry about it too much.
Well, I mean, we do have, when we bring back the girl to the clan chief of the humans, the man we spoke of, we would be happy to bring your greetings to him if you would wish that. He's the lord of
Thinking Mane.
Sorry,
Master
my connection broke a little bit. I heard Mane say he's the something, and then I didn't hear anything more.
sorry, he's the head of his clan here in this area, so he holds a lot of sway, and we would be happy to bring your greetings to him.
Yes, if you have your way back, when you're on your way back, if you have your way past here, I would be very happy to hire you as a messenger to the local landowner. That would be much helpful. Thank you,
Master Dwarf, if I may.
Yes.
A sure way to get access and get permission to this land, wouldn't that be sending one of your strongest fighter with us and help us bring back this lord's daughter? He will be in favor of any suggestions you have.
I would be happy to help you in any way I can, but I cannot spare my workers, and they are not fighters.
That is understandable, sir.
Damn.
I'm sorry. If I could do anything, I would, of course, help you. I'm sad to see a child taken by these trolls.
So I asked him, do you have equipment for us? I know that dwarf crafting is renowned throughout the world.
He said, well, we have our pickaxes and our personal weapons, but we didn't really come here prepared to trade or anything like this. But if I can do anything, of course, is there something specific that you're looking for or need?
Well, general equipment, or maybe you have advice fighting trolls. They are enemies of the dwarves, right?
Of course, they don't dare making their way down into Vonda. That would be the last thing they do. But we do have some troubles with the trolls in Grolkonda in general. But it was many years ago that we had to actually fight with the trolls in our own kingdom, he says. So I'm not really sure. I mean, hit them with the pointy end. Trolls are quite stupid creatures. If you can find a way to trick them, you could probably succeed pretty easily. Or they are also very greedy creature. If you can find a way to give them something they want, maybe you could even get the child back without any fighting at all. I don't know. I mean, what would the value of this child be for the trolls? I have no idea. What do you think?
Well, we expect that they want to eat her, or maybe she's beautiful and they like that.
Yeah, if they want to eat her, why do they? I mean, how many days have you been traveling away from this? What was the name of this farm, you say?
Bearfield, I believe.
Yeah, how many days have you been traveling from there?
A few.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah, why? If they were hungry, why did they not eat it straight away?
True.
Yeah, that's the weird
true.
part.
They must have some.
I don't really know enough about trolls to know what they would do with a girl.
I mean, the trolls do envy the beauty of the humans, usually, and they sometimes they have a mating with humans. As I hear,
Wow.
even dwarves sometimes. Of course, a dwarf. Yeah.
She's far too young for that, though. I wouldn't.
Maybe
if that's the case.
Maybe they.
Let's hope the trolls know that.
I'm not sure there is an age to get raped by a troll, you know.
No, I do hope she's not been hurt in that way. That would be awful.
I'm also thinking that that's something the trolls would have done straight away if they wanted to do this. It's like eating.
My.
So why would they bring her with them in that case?
Maybe they're bringing her to other. I mean, we found out that there are 3 trolls who took her and are bringing her along, but we don't know. Maybe they're bringing. Maybe those 3 trolls are bringing her to other trolls. But maybe I don't know. Like, yeah, because maybe they're bringing.
Is there a troll barrow in this area? I mean, I don't know this land myself.
Neither do
us
I.
neither. We are travelers.
There might be a
Bodgeir, do you know of any troll barrows in?
I typically just kept to the towns. Doing my work. This isn't the usual for me.
Well, we are in the middle of wilderness here, so I suppose.
I mean, you did ask Mane before you left, and there's been more troll activity in the area recently, but because they're usually not that far south in the farmlands, you know. So there might be a burrow somewhere.
Okay.
All we can really do is keep following until we catch up.
Is there
I
anything
hope they haven't discovered some kind of trade opportunity with something even bigger.
Yeah, I don't know who wants to trade a small girl like this. I'm not sure.
There are plenty of evil creatures that would like a small girl.
Especially if she is beautiful, like you say. Might be some other motive there.
And at some point during the night, I'm gonna want to talk to Korbli, like privately, like a bit like stepping away just a little bit from everyone else.
Let's do that during the night. Sounds great.
I mean, so we're gonna stay the night then?
I mean, are we welcome to rest here?
Of course, Master Mane. There's plenty of space in the entrance for all of you if you want.
It's all cute and stuff, but how late are we in the day? I wouldn't want to spend
it was late afternoon, so we're approaching darkness, and this is as good a place to rest as any.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's not stay too late in the morning, right?
Yeah. At first light, we should head off.
Yeah. Maybe we could actually skip having guard schedules since we're sleeping so safely.
Yeah. That would be nice, actually.
We would hurry things along. We would be after the girl faster.
Yeah, exactly. That would be great. Yeah.
That's true. All right. So you're more than welcome to join them in their camp. And like you said, you feel quite safe, so you wouldn't need to have any guard schedules or anything like that.
What do I know about dwarves? Are dwarves likely to kill us in our sleep or something?
Do you have any knowledge about dwarves?
I have race knowledge.
It's not really race knowledge; it's more like culture knowledge. But you can use your base knowledge.
Well,
skill.
I don't have any specifically for dwarves, but I do have some pretty good general just knowledge of things. Yeah. Just let me double check here. Well,
custom and laws.
I mean, I don't have any culture knowledge specifically for dwarves, but I have 7 in general knowledge. So
So that's how it works,
right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. So if you have a general knowledge skill, you can use that to kind of know basic stuff about it.
Oh my god!
I'm off gonna roll it.
Oh man.
Well,
I believe
So what do you think about the dwarves then, Mana?
I believe that dwarves are very territorial. Sleeping inside of their hole, that is very suspicious. That is. I mean, that would technically be intruding on your ground. Are you he's not gonna say anything, but he's like, I'm gonna sleep outside of the hole tonight.
Okay, I mean, as you make your way out with your tent, they kind of look at you like you're a little bit strange, but they don't really comment on it or anything. You can sleep wherever you want. So, Pixie, you were rolling for the same?
Yeah.
So what do you want to know?
Yeah, I wanted to know, like more about their laws and such.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to like find their spectrum of what's honorable and what's not, kinda.
Okay. Like
what do they value as honorable actions? Because I want to take those actions.
They of course they value skill and discipline and honesty. Like they're very honor bound. You know, like if they say something, they hold their word, or they keep their word. You also know that they're very superstitious, and they usually don't give their whole name to people because they believe that names hold power. That if you know somebody's name, you can use that to do something bad to them. So Njordi is probably not his actual name. And you heard of Ibonda that they're coming from. Oh, what happened now?
Somebody else just joined.
Yeah, too early.
Okay.
And then they left.
I removed them. It's
Okay.
Oh, luckily all the videos stayed the
Yeah.
same. That would have been fucked up. If I had to
That
fix
was
it.
Elendil.
Yeah, Elendil. He wanted to join us, I guess. Yeah, Ivonda is part of a bigger nation, like a bigger realm. It's one of many smaller kingdoms in this realm. That's part of that's like the realm of the Trollridge Mountain. I did write this down somewhere, didn't I? Yes, maybe yeah. I'm just trying to find the name of that damn place. It's like a long, complicated Russian-sounding name. I wrote that down somewhere, didn't I? Oh, yeah, here. Okay. Grunkovorda. Grunkovorda is the name of the realm. Grunkovorda. And there's you think it's about 4 to 6 nations inside of Grunkovorda. This was one big kingdom before. This was the second largest dwarven kingdom in the world. And but hundreds of years ago, it kind of split up because of infighting over Mithril, like the Mitarka, because the Mitarka ran out in this nation, and the few veins of Mitarka that was left were they were fighting over it pretty much, and they were kind of killing each other for many years, and all the country just split up into smaller countries, and they built like fortresses everywhere and stuff like that, and tried to fight, and fortress got abandoned, and trolls and other creatures started taking over these fortresses and making them their home. So there's like quite a lot of trolls and this kind of creatures in Grunkovorda right now. But that was like 100 years ago or something like that, maybe more. We reckon. So, but yeah, dwarves in general, quite superstitious, can be very friendly, value skill above everything else, and honesty and honor is very important.
Okay.
Except when it comes to names, then, because they don't give you a name. Do anybody else want to ask them something or do something else before?
I mean, if no one else has anything, like, I mean, I even though I know very little, know a lot about, crafting stuff. I know that dwarves make some of the best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if we're going to be resting here for a bit, I mean, I would like to discuss, how to improve, like what they do, how come theirs is so much better than everyone else's? Like, what gives, man?
Tell me your trade secrets,
Yes.
Boris.
I would like to learn.
So when you ask Njordir about this, he's quite hesitant to tell you too much. He's happy to have met a human smith, and he thinks that's a very noble profession and a good choice on your part. But he says maybe if everything goes well and after you deliver your message, maybe I can be convinced to take you with us down and teach you something.
I would.
Of course, if everything goes well with this clan chieftain of yours.
Of course.
Nice.
I would appreciate that greatly, because I'm only a learner, you know. I'm far from mastery.
That's a good way to see at this thing. I think you should be aware of your own ability and be able to improve. Yes. So Man and Korbli wanted to have a private talk, right? We can talk some more with the dwarves if you want, but I think maybe now we can take a little bit of a break, get some coffee, and I need to stretch my back because, like I told you guys, I hurt it moving my furniture yesterday, so it's kind of like that.
And don't turn off your cameras.
No.
Yeah, don't turn off your camera, please.
I just turned it to the side.
And we'll be right back pretty soon. Okay, bye for now.
Riotminds presents an award-winning role-playing game, Trudvang Chronicles. There are many tales and sagas about Trudvang. Many songs about the fallen heroes. Based on the Norse and Celtic myths and legends, Riotminds present a world of endless adventures. Draw your sword, call upon the gods, weave your magic. Riotminds presents an award-winning role-playing game, Trudvang Chronicles. There are many tales and sagas about Trudvang. Many songs about the fallen heroes. Based on the Norse and Celtic myths and legends, Riotminds present a world of endless adventures. Draw your sword, call upon the gods, weave your magic. Riotminds presents an award-winning role-playing game, Trudvang Chronicles.
Awesome! Welcome back, guys. I like that now when I'm sitting so close to my window, I'm even whiter than before. That's nice.
That's not something you should be proud of.
Don't do it, Bodgeir.
Paleness.
We know your shininess. It's outside that window right there.
It's not even bright. It's just way brighter than the room, so it just blasts it.
Maybe it would help if I turn on my light. Maybe that would give it a little bit more yellow glow. But I'm quite nice, as white as I am. All right, guys. So, do you guys want to talk more to our dwarven friends?
Do the dwarves play any game? Are there any fun?
I mean, yeah,
these are dwarfs, man.
They're
relaxing. That's what I'm asking.
Relaxing, maybe playing some games. Yeah, that would make sense, I guess. But what kind of games do dwarves play?
I probably there's like Viking era chess. That's pretty nice. I think And a lot of it has to do with that you make nice pieces of it. So that's I don't remember the name straight at the bat, but I think that's something they would play.
Maybe.
And it's like the gameplay is about encircling your enemies.
Okay, sounds good.
Total dwarfs.
Yeah, good idea. What do you want to say, Mane?
Maybe they're playing something like that sounds fun, but it sounds a bit too fancy for what these are workers who just came here. They only have their working equipment, so maybe they're playing something maybe they're throwing stones to land in specific circles or pattern. Like I'm thinking some weird hopscotch knockoff, or something. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Maybe they're playing Cub.
Yeah, exactly. Or Cub or something like that.
Do you know what Cub is, Ryan?
No, why would I? Maybe if you said the English version.
I sent a link in Discord for enough Tafel.
How do you call it in English?
Tafel games.
Tafel games?
No, never heard of.
It's a family of ancient Nordic and Celtic strategy board games.
Why would I know those?
Because it's important for us. If you're going to spend so much time with Swedish people, you need to know these things, man.
I don't need to know it.
So, Cub is pretty much like you have some pieces of wood that represents like different things, and they stand on a line, and you're two teams. You're like on a piece of grass or something, and you put them out like this, however you want on a line, and then you have like these sticks, and you need to stand on the behind the furthest forward one of your piece of wood, and then you need to throw the stick on their pieces of wood, and if you hit it, you get that piece of wood, and you yeah.
It looks like very simplified but scaled up chess in a way. Like you have these very simple wooden blocks stacked up like chess pieces, and the point is throwing sticks at the opposite ones.
That's not chess. That's throwing
it's chess but using artillery or something.
It's fun. But they're not playing that. They're just playing some kind of dwarven chess game. If you want to try it, you can.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be playing for money, though.
Yes, I would like to play them up, and if possible, considering they don't necessarily speak Vrak, I would try to talk them up and get to know them.
Yeah, it seems like nobody else except Njordir speaks Brock at all.
And
he speaks
sign language faces.
I mean, you can join them if you want, but it would be difficult to understand the rules of this game.
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm just bored. I'll do that. I'll join them and fail. I mean, if me is involved, it doesn't matter.
I wouldn't do very well if I played Sorrow.
You take one piece, move it, and then like there and
all right. Sure, you join them and they kind of try to show you how to play the game, how to move the pieces and stuff, and you get a basic idea, even with the lack of language, and it's quite fun. But they're not, like I said, they're not playing for money or anything like that, so they're just playing it for fun, and they're enjoying having a human joining them for once. And they seem to be asking you some questions, but when they realize that you don't understand Futhark, they kind of just drink with you instead.
That's fine with me.
So let's turn to Mane and Korbli's conversation then.
Yeah, we're stepping out of the cave just a little bit away, just to make some room.
Korbli would probably be going out to pick up some plants or something either way.
Korbli, and I'm whispering. I'm whispering,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Always whispering.
What they said about trolls liking shiny things and valuables and things like that. I have an idea. We might be able, if they haven't hurt the girl, and if we can get them in a position where we can bargain. Here's the thing. I'm not going to use it right now, but I know a way to produce fire, which will stay on like magical fire. Not a lot, but I can produce. I can make it so that it sits on, and I pick up a stick, just a piece of stick. I could make the fire sit on this stick without burning the stick, and it would continue to burn. And you could poke it into something else and set that on fire, and that would be very magical, I think, for the trolls. So if we get into a position where we can negotiate with them, we could offer them a magical eternal fire stick. But here's the thing. The fire on the stick will only burn for a certain time, and then it'll go out. But if we get the girl and get out of there fast and run...
I think it's a sound idea, but it probably won't work. Because it looks like fire on a stick. And if they don't believe it's a never everlasting fire on a stick, we have to prove it by standing around.
I could set it on a rock. A rock doesn't burn, but the magic will make the rock produce the flame.
Maybe we should ask the dwarfs for a fancy bowl to have it in. It looks like.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and it would be a warm bowl if it's metal.
Yeah. We could ask.
But just on a stick or on a stone? Well,
anything. I could have it in my hand, and it wouldn't burn my hand.
Oh.
It could be the size of a candle, or it could be the size of a torch, but nothing bigger. Not like a bonfire or something like that. It's
too bad we don't have like a big glass thing to have it in.
Yeah, like a lantern or something.
Yeah.
Or just a bottle. That would be interesting. Just having a bottle and a tiny rock inside the bottle, and the rock just like that would look very impressive. But
yeah. But
here's the thing, though. If I do this, and I don't know about Bodgeir and Sulvig, how accepting they are. I don't know if I've been hiding for a very long time, and I'm not sure if it's.
You can just say you had it on you.
But it's magic. I mean, they've already seen me call on the power of my god, but
either they don't care, and then it's no problem, or you have to do what every magician has ever been forced to do. You have to lie.
Okay.
Lie to your friends. It's for their own good.
Okay.
Just remember, I'm here with you.
Thank you. It's been. You don't understand how calming it's been to found someone who's like me, who has the same darkness.
Yeah. We must stay close. We can only trust each other in this, you know?
Yeah.
And just hope the others will be kind.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and that's pretty much finished.
Yeah. I'm just gonna find like a clover and eat it.
So, what did the Bodgeir and Sulvig do after this? I mean, you've seen Korbli and Mane go away from you guys quite a few times now and talking to themselves, and they seem very much like super into what they're talking about, you know. But yeah, what do you guys think about it?
Well, I know exactly what they're doing, and I don't care.
So do I, Vig. I know exactly what it is. They're gay. They love each other. I've seen it.
Well,
It happens.
Love is beautiful, so
It is. I don't know what they're talking. They talk in funny tongues. I don't understand.
I mean, are they even talking?
I don't know. I don't go look what they're doing. That would be rude.
Yeah, it would. But it would be funny. I mean,
Hey, look, they can do whatever they want.
yeah,
You
they
know?
can.
I'm accepting of that, you know? They love each other. That's life, man.
Great.
Ugh.
That's a good conclusion. And that
Of
kinda makes
course.
sense.
What happens when two men hang out alone all the time?
In a camp on a
In the
mountain,
woods.
I mean, they walked away.
and they both wear cowboy hats as well.
They both
So-
like saying stuff. I don't know what. I'm not paying attention.
So Korbli and Mane comes back, and they're still talking as they walk back to the camp, but they stop as soon as they get into earshot of you guys, and they seem quite happy. And they got out all of their feelings in this conversation, and they seem quite satisfied, both of them, with the outcome of the conversation. I'd say.
So I would smile to them and wink in a knowing way.
So as you approach Bodgeir and Sulvig give you a very, very meaning wink and smiles and nods his head a little bit, like, I know what you guys are doing.
I
So
like that. Korbli is like a really short guy with a little mustache.
fits perfectly.
Man is a little bit taller, and he's got a bit of a scraggly beard, sort of like me, but
Right, and Korbli is still... No, that wasn't Korbli. Sorry. Would have been fun if Korbli was the one that failed on the sneak before and was limping a little bit.
Yeah, sadly, it was not me.
Yeah, so that didn't happen.
no. Solveig will have to wait his turn.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
So, do you guys tell them anything when you come back, or do you want to talk with them about it or anything like that?
Not right away. Not in a camp full of dwarves. Man is just gonna go to bed. It's been a long day.
And we need to get up as soon as possible. To be honest.
Yeah, exactly. We need our rest. So yeah.
Okay. Does anything else happen before you guys go to bed? Does Bodgeir and Sulvig do anything else?
Well, if I can steal something from the dwarves, I will do, but I don't think that's a
Please don't steal anything from the nice dwarves.
I guess I won't.
I mean, if you want to try, you can go ahead, but he said they've only got their own stuff and their pickaxes.
If I do have some time, I will go back to my stick and put it in the tree so that it doesn't get eaten by
I think you're fine. I don't think anyone wants to eat that.
He can't hear you say that. You've gone.
Yeah, it's gonna end up with some squirrels eating out the eyes of the dead troll and then spreading the plague all over the fucking forest
Oh, God.
and killing everything. But no. I mean, yeah, of course you can go back and pick up your damn stick and put it in a tree if you want. Are you gonna continue bringing the stick with you to the next place as well?
Oh yes, I will.
Of course.
That head has to be rotting by now.
It's getting ripe.
It was. I mean, it wasn't nice smelling before. It was dead, but
it's not an improvement either.
Yeah, it's not getting better, you could say. Okay, so you wake up quite earlier than usual. You all got a nice long rest. You got some body points back.
I think that was last night. I didn't, so that was then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll actually get one this turn.
Amazing.
By the way, I was sick for a day. Am I still sick? And is the stick carrying affecting anything?
That was in the middle of the day, right? So,
yeah, I think so.
So it should be until the middle of this day.
But it will end?
That's what you feel like. You feel better. You feel like you're getting better by the hour.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys wake up and Njordil and the other dwarves are already up. Some of them have started their mining operation, and that's kind of what woke you guys up, the pickaxes starting. And Njordil gives you guys some morning hot coffee and says, "Oh, you guys, you humans sleep a long time, huh?"
Yeah, we do.
I look at Korbli and Mane and I say, well, some of us have been up one time.
This is gonna be a thing now. Okay. But yeah, you get some coffee and you can get some breakfast if you want. They prepared some more of that boar meat or whatever it was. You're not really sure what it is.
It's lumpy?
Hey, I'll take free food.
Yeah. So that means you don't need to spend a ration this day. You can just eat this and it will be enough.
Nom nom.
Okay.
And then we'll get indigestion because it's too hard on our frail human stomachs to eat dwarven food.
That's fine.
Should be fine.
I mean, I can do a cooking roll to determine if I can tell.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Hey.
Oh yeah. It's no problem for you guys to eat this, and like I said, it's some kind of boar, like wild boar or something. You're not really sure. Never
some kind of boar, guys.
Yeah, you never eaten this before. So and it's well made as well. Very succulent. It seemed like they kind of long cook this kind of meat to get it really soft and nice. Probably quite tough when it's fresh. Well, the meat is still fresh, but yeah, you get that. Okay, so you bid farewell to the dwarves and continue down the road, I guess. And let's do some tracking rolls. Or is your spell still up, Mane?
It would have faded by now because it was only 12 extra hours or something. Yeah. So, that was in the morning of the day or something when we started that day's tracking or whatever. So
as you guys get out of the camp, out of the cave, you realize the rain is even heavier today.
Oh,
I keep forgetting I have the weatherman specialty. I paid good points for that, but I never use it. God damn it!
You can use it right now.
Yeah, I will. Now I remember it. There's roll 20.
Oh, we're not gonna track it again.
Never mind.
So,
I'll do a tracking roll too.
Are you doing the tracking rolls right now?
No.
Ryan, you did your tracking roll already, right?
I did. No one's gonna succeed.
Then, in that case, I guess it's up to me.
Did Sulvig roll his already?
Yes, I failed.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, everyone fails as always.
None of us are any good at it.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I will back into that later.
Wait a second. This is 18 minus. Just double checking this again because I forgot since the last time. 2. Yes. Yeah, let's do that. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So I just when I see people like sighing and shaking their heads and like saying, "Oh God," like people have obviously missed it. I'm just gonna look around a little bit on my own, and this is God, please, God, be with me. Yes. And so, and I just, and I walk up to Korbli, and I give him a knowing look, because I've been I've been weaving magic for the past half minute in my slow, invisible way, but Korbli has been probably feeling my magic weaving, and I'm just gonna tap him on the back, and he gets the vision. Now he can see the tracks. They appear clear as day.
Okay, so Bodgeir and Sulvig, you see Mane stop in his tracks. The rain is kind of pouring down in his hair and his clothes, and then he looks really constipated for a little while. Like his face is kind of like concentrated, and then he walks over to Korbli and put his hand on his back, and Korbli like stands up a little bit straighter and looks around a little bit, almost like he's surprised about something. So,
yeah, after a little while, Korbli is going to be like, over there, I found it, follow me, and then just start blazing ahead of the disease.
Right, you see these tracks, they're like lit by this kind of red light now. But only you can see it. Can Mane also see it?
No, he's the only one who can see them.
Okay.
That's a spell. I can either use the spell on myself or enchant someone else by touch, so that they can track.
All right, perfect.
Just to make it less suspicious that, of course, the nerd who's never lived outside in the forest knows exactly how to track. Like, that was suspicious at first, but I didn't want to. So yeah, it's Korbli who can track because he's an elf, and elves are good in the forest or whatever.
Well, most elves.
Yeah.
Not all.
Are you shading me? I took a lot in tracking just because you said so.
Yeah, see how well that worked out, huh?
I mean, did you really take a lot of track? I mean, it looks like your skill value is only 5.
Yeah, I took 5 in wilderness.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for me. Okay, I have 10, a 7, and a 5. That's my max.
Indeed. So I mean,
my highest is an 8. Damn.
So you guys go back to the road where you met the dwarves, and you start tracking from there. And the road is kind of going, it goes a little bit more to the right. And the way that you went to the camp with the dwarves was like as another little path to the left. Mm-hmm. So it's going like to the other way now.
Yeah. I mean, Mane probably returned to the place where he last saw the tracks, and that's where he enchanted Korbli to see it. So. Because
exactly.
Because it only really lights up their footsteps. So if we're not in the right place, and I enchant and I use the spell, that we're not gonna see the steps anywhere close. We have to actually be wherever they have been and then see the tracks.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a limitation on the spell.
So like I told you guys before, the woods are more and more getting into it's all needle trees, like pine trees and spruces and stuff, and the ground is covered by moss and now also by rain, and there's puddles. There's like growing puddles everywhere, and you kind of have to jump over them most of the time, and the ground is getting quite soft, and it's quite difficult to hide the sound of your boots sloshing through this mud. And of course Sulvig doesn't really like this, since he likes to stay quiet and out of sight, but it's quite difficult to do that right now. So you continue for quite a while. Actually, pretty much the whole day passes, and you steadily. It does feel like you're kind of catching on to the trolls a little bit. The tracks that Korbli can see are getting sharper and sharper. Like in the beginning, they were quite diffuse because of the rain and stuff, but now it's very sharp and looks like they have been here not too long ago. And the rain is slowly dying down a little bit. It's getting a little bit more comfortable. It's still wet everywhere, but it's not raining as heavily in the evening. And pretty much around the same time as you met the dwarves last night, you come across a meadow in the forest. And in the middle of the meadow is a massive boulder, like a massive boulder covered by moss. And on top of the boulder, it's kind of crowned by this gnarly-looking pine tree, a massive pine tree on top of the boulder. And it's quite strange, like a pine tree growing on a boulder. You reckon, and it's kind of resting its weight on the back part of the boulder. So there's like it looks like you can get underneath the boulder pretty much. You can't really see anything in there, but it's kind of resting a little bit, like this, and you can get underneath it. And the tracks are leading inside of underneath the boulder. And then it seems like they're coming out of the boulder again.
Would that be another pile of crap?
Yeah, let's approach carefully.
Yep.
Let's not go under the boulder head first.
Yes.
Yeah. But I can see them like coming back on the other side.
Yeah, like the
I won't like walk in their footsteps. I'll just go along. Right past the boulder. I won't even recognize that the path went off.
Yeah, because technically he's the only one who knows. So
Yeah,
if he doesn't tell us,
Nope.
Yeah,
we don't know they went in.
exactly. Yeah, so
So it's up to him right now.
I mean, it is an interesting looking boulder though. And you have seen some, like all of you, even without the magic vision, can see that there's been some, like the ground has been disturbed outside of the boulder. Like you can clearly see some tracks and stuff there, because it's a little bit drier right there because the rain has been like going on the boulder and not on the ground there, so you can still see tracks pretty clearly there. And it just looks like the troll tracks, so you kind of reckon that it probably went in there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, like that it's drier, I'm just gonna put that down because it's infected by shit. And not go there.
I mean, there might be stuff under the boulder.
it might be a trap set by the GM. Oh my god.
I mean,
I would never do that.
Yeah, Korbli is the one leading the team, so Korbli decides.
I'm just gonna tread ahead, but if you want to go look for the ship boulder, you can.
hey, look, he put this boulder here.
I'll wait.
It's interesting to me.
Okay, so what the fuck is up with the boulder? Why is everyone looking
It's
at
not
that
gonna
boulder?
be as interesting as the dwarf
I mean-
work.
Well, I'm gonna stay behind a bit, like wait with Korbli a bit further away, just in case goblins or something rush.
I mean, I'll look. I'll try and look underneath. At least I'll look. Try and see.
It's
I'll
dark.
go with them.
It's
I'll-
dark.
Do we
I
see
mean-
any shit?
I'll use a torch. I'll light a torch.
All right. You get a torch out of your camp kit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you used any torches from your camp kit before?
Don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I used one.
Yeah.
Since it's not too big, like I reckon you only have one torch each
Okay.
in your camp kits. If you don't, like, you can roll a d20
Mhm.
under 5 to see if you have a second torch.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So you use your torch and you look under, and it seems like the boulder is hollow,
Oh,
and you see the gleam of something, like the boulder, the surface of the boulder inside is like whitish.
white-ish.
Not
What's the
boulder
color
colored.
of troll shit? Is it white?
And you also see like a stamped out fireplace in there, and some,
So they made camp here.
yeah, like some twigs and stuff that they probably slept on, you reckon. And,
So it just kind of looks like a used camp.
yeah.
Ah. Probably not going to be anything good in there then. Probably will be poop.
But if it's a used camp, I will go in and I will look around and try to find stuff. I mean, not the clutter, but I mean anything that's shiny or remarkable.
Right. So Bodgeir is staying at the opening, holding the
Sure.
torch in there, and Sulvig goes in. And yeah, this is not a boulder. This is something else. It's like the walls are all white, and you can see in some places you can see the earth through the boulder surface on the other side. There's no strange smells or anything in there. It just smells earthy and a little bit of metally in there, and wet, of course. But you don't think they took a shit or anything in there. Do you want to take a look around or something like that, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I do. As soon as I see that it's not like a pile of dunk or anything, I will look around.
Okay, so do a finding and spotting check then.
Okay. That's a 10. Come on.
Okay, so you don't seem to find anything of interest. It just looks like they made camp there pretty much. Some burned out logs and some places where they probably slept. And you don't really see anything.
Alright, whatever. Then I'll just leave, I guess.
Okay.
Onwards.
So I guess Bodgeir and Sulvig tells Mane and Korbli what you saw in there or anything like that.
Yeah, they just camped here. It's fine. I mean, if we need a camp on the way back, I suppose.
Any sign of the girl?
Didn't even look.
She could have slept in there with the trolls. But I mean, it's not like there's a girl-shaped hole
Yeah.
in the ground.
Yeah. There's no, remains. There's no. It's just camp. Just camp guys.
Yeah, we haven't found bits of human girl in there.
No.
That's good news, I guess.
So Korbli and Mane, when you saw Sulvig go in there, he had to bend down to get in. But as soon as he got in, you saw that he stood up in his full length. And that's something you usually can't do underneath a boulder. So you find it kind of weird.
Oh yeah, it's hollow.
Hollow?
Yeah, it's hollow. It's just a shell.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, like that super sci-fi show Doctor Who in the future that hasn't existed yet.
Breaking the fourth wall here.
No. Sorry. Yes. Someone carved out the inside of the boulder, apparently. That's what it looks like.
Mana's gonna go in and have a look.
Yeah, so Mane, you bend down and you jump in there and yeah, it's hollow and it's not stone, it's white. It doesn't look like stone at all.
I'm gonna take my knife and pick at it a bit and see the the feeling of it. Is you say it's not really stone, but is it soft? Is it wood? Is it?
It's much softer than stone would have been, and as you touch it, it kind of feels like bone.
It's bone. I knew it.
And I'm gonna look at the walls and look around and just basically I'm thinking this is a giant skull.
So you do see two big holes. What could have been eye holes, you guess. And there's a lot of smaller holes, like what is this? Oh, somebody painted something. I thought something went wrong with the screen. And there seem to be like narrow slits, some places randomly in the skull, like that you can see through as well, and even some cracks and stuff, and some bigger, unnatural-looking holes, like cracked up holes and stuff like that.
I wanna make a monster lore check to see if I can identify what kind of creature had this big kind of a skull.
Sure.
And another natural 20, I bet. Let's see here.
Oh,
No.
you
a
managed.
success.
So, since there's a big tree growing on the skull, you reckon this must be a forest giant.
Oh.
And also you're in a forest, so it makes sense.
Mm.
Because
Hey.
forest giants usually have like moss and tree growing on them. So yeah, okay, go ahead.
Guys, I think this is a forest giant's skull. Because this is bone, and those holes look like eyes, and like, yeah, this is a giant. This was a giant.
Wait, they're real?
Heck, that's
Oh yes, they are. They
Oh,
are
shit.
rare, but they are real.
I've seen a lot of weird creatures. If you heard a story about anything, assume it's real.
At least some part of the
You're gonna
story
be-
is real.
Yeah, you're gonna be safer if you assume everything is real,
Even the tooth fairy?
even the tooth fairy.
You mean the spirits that eat babies' teeth unless they eat their vegetables?
Yeah,
I never ate any vegetable.
Do you mean to say that love between two men is real?
What?
And I look at them and I wink.
And Man is just gonna look confused. Huh?
Korbli is just gonna be like, those humans.
Huh.
Anyway.
Yes.
Let's. I mean, is it going towards nightfall again?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's in the later parts of the evening right now when you arrive to this skull.
Maybe we can use it to camp. Korbli, what do you think?
I think we should try to get as far as we can before we camp.
I mean, there's still a few
We
hours,
need
right?
we need to catch them as soon as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, except if this giant skull thingy gets you more powers, right?
But with your fascination with heads.
You're not gonna try to put this thing on a stick and carry it, right? I mean,
Well,
You need a big stick.
I don't think I could.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. You're a strong man, Sulvig, but I don't think you can carry a giant's head.
Nah, it's too big.
So just don't go and get yourself a big head.
I
So
don't mind.
are we carrying on then?
Yeah, we're probably carrying it on, I guess, because we want to save as many hours as possible. So
And Mana didn't want to look around specifically in the
yeah,
skull
sure.
either.
I mean, when I was looking around, I assumed I was looking around, but if I can make a looking around check, I would like to do that. Yes.
Do you have finding and spotting?
No.
You're fine.
I mean, I have one
Wow.
dot,
One.
1
You can
point.
try. Yeah, sure.
All you need.
Get a perfect one then.
La 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 la.
You can dream the 5% chance.
And I did.
What the fuck? Okay, I need to write this down.
Wow. Of course, when it's not overly important, the luck comes in. But, oh, that's the spell you're trying to cast?
If I find a couple more of the girl's hairs, that would be great, because I'm kind of running out of blood at this point. So,
as you're rummaging around, you find two things. You find a simple dagger with a handle of bone and a bronze blade. It looks like it could have belonged to one of the trolls, probably. Okay. And you also find a small piece of cloth. It's white and blue and made of cotton. It looks like a ripped off piece of cloth.
And it looks like it looks fresh, like it's like if it hadn't been lying here like forever. It's probably recent. Like.
Yeah. It looks a little bit dirty though, but like it doesn't look like it's been.
I'll pocket those things and just let's go. Okay. I found I think the troll's dagger and a piece of her dress. I think maybe. Let's push on.
Good work, Mane.
They're just laying there in the corner. I don't know why anyone else didn't spot them.
Stark.
Yeah, that was good work. So I guess you continue down, following the tracks. Kind of goes out on the other side of the meadow in the north, and just continues. It's been kind of constantly continuing north all this time. In the beginning of your trip from Bearfield, it went more northwest, but now it started going north through the forest here.
Like they needed to head northwest to get through that narrow ravine, and then they started heading more north.
Yeah, very much. After about an hour, I want you to make a perception check.
Oh, perception! Yay!
DC 10. Plus minus a perception.
Yeah, right. And my perception is, as always...
Nothing there, guys. You're all stupid. There's nothing there.
No, D20. Never mind.
No cheating.
It's the wrong button.
No, you're wrong. Just what that would be on a D20.
Yep. So, Viggen Mana.
So, Viggen Mana, you hear something coming through the bushes on the right side of the road.
Shh. Guys, quiet down. Mana's gonna be like, shh. Yeah, guys.
I will sneak in the direction of the thing that's coming in.
I'm gonna draw my bow and be ready.
Okay, so do a sneak check.
They're just paranoid again, like always. Nothing there.
Fuck it.
Good work. You're really good at sneaking in this session, huh? So you kind of walks into the bush, but everybody can clearly see you. So out of the bush after about a minute comes a man, quite a tall man. He's covered in pelts and fur, and has like a hood up, like a made of fur as well, covering his head from the rain that's still drizzling down here. And in his left hand he has 3 rabbits, holding them by the ears, and in his right hand he has a hunting bow.
Do you speak Vrock, friend?
He steps out on the road and looks out at you guys, and he says, "Oh, fellow travelers, so far in the forest. That was a long time ago I've seen anybody this far out. Greetings. What brings you guys here?"
We're hunting trolls.
Trolls, you say? I tend to stay away from trolls. If I can avoid them, I do.
We would too, but they've kidnapped a girl.
Kidnapped a girl, you say?
Yes.
As he comes a little bit closer, you can see he clearly looks like an Stormlander, but not like an Eightlander. He is more like dark-haired, and he has a little bit of a stubble, It looks like he's been in the woods for a while. And the thing that really stands out are his eyes. They are like clear, super clear and blue. Almost shining blue. Not shining, like there's no magic or anything, but like super blue. And that's quite rare for a normal like an 8-lander would sometimes have blue eyes, but a Stormlander in general would look more like him, but with like yellowish eyes or darker eyes. So having this kind of blue, the contrast is quite distinct, between his darker complexion and the blue eyes. Yeah. So what do you want to say?
It's Magnebite. It's his daughter we're searching for.
Magnebite. Oh, I heard that name before. He says he's one of the he's one of the clan chieftains in this area, right?
Yeah,
He is.
Oh, that's I'm sad to hear that. I wish I could help you somehow, but the trolls, you see, I haven't seen trolls in quite a while.
we're following their tracks. There are 3 of them, and their tracks have been leading us this way.
Yeah, like I said, I like to avoid the trolls myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's always trolls around here in this area of the woods. I'm pretty sure the burrow is around here somewhere.
Okay.
The burrow?
A ton of trolls.
The troll burrow is here. It seemed like they've been conjugating recently. Actually, it seemed like they probably got a new leader or something. There's always these troll leaders popping up once in a while and getting them all together, and then they kill him off when they get hungry, and the circle continues.
Well, this.
How are you staying safe from the trolls?
Sorry?
How are you staying safe from the trolls if you live so near?
Oh, they never catch me. Most of the time, they don't even know I'm there. And my camp is it's in the other direction from where I think the troll burrow must be. So they usually don't go that far out in that direction. It seems like they don't like to stay around there for some reason. It works out well for me though, and even if they did go out there, they wouldn't be able to find my camp anyway.
Well, that's probably where the trolls are going, guys.
Why is that? Why wouldn't they be able to find your camp?
Well, you pick up some skills when you're out in the forest, like I have been the last 5 years, and you learn how to use what the forest provides to cover your tracks and to cover your camp, so to say.
I just want to ask the GM quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any Vitner? Like, does he look like a Vitner weaver?
It looks like a woodsman.
Okay.
Like a hunter.
I was gonna ask, can I do some kind of psychology check to try and see if he's hiding something, or if he's just it's arrogant about his skills?
Yeah, how would you do that in that case?
Yeah, I guess psyche would be psychology, kind of, or maybe there's a skill.
Yeah, maybe psyche or maybe charisma or something. I mean, there is the silver tongue and libel skills for lying and stuff.
That's lying about someone to someone.
Let's do yeah, I guess you can do a charisma roll then.
Charisma?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would
he
expect
seems to be lying.
charisma to be used when we try to lie. In psyche, then we try to detect lying.
Psyche, I feel like, is more to get some intuition about if he's have some evil intent or anything against you guys. Then I would use.
That's basically what I'm doing, right? I'm trying to
sure.
see if he's hiding something.
Try that too, then.
Okay. Success.
Okay, so You don't reckon that he's having any. He just seems to be a hunter in the forest, and you don't feel like any malicious intent or anything coming from him. He's probably just surprised to see other people out in the forest as he's hunting. You reckon that he probably don't spend a lot of time with other people.
Can I check him out and see if there's anything of value on him? Like eyes closed, just crap, or
no? Like he the clothes are quite well made. I mean, they're made of furs and pelts and stuff, like most Stormlander clothes are, and probably yours are as well if you're from the Stormlands, or from like Korpikalli elves will probably also have similar clothes, like whatever you can get from animals, skins and stuff. Okay. They seem it seems like he take care of his clothes. They're a little bit dirty, of course, from the rain, and he's been in the forest, but he seems to take care of them quite well. And he has like a pretty normal equipment, like for a hunter, like a dagger for skinning the animals and for butchering and stuff. He has like a short sword for personal defense, and then he has the hunting bow and a quiver and everything.
And nothing crazy.
No, not that you can see.
Okay, all right.
So are you just heading out now to hunt? It's getting pretty late.
Yeah, I'm on my way back actually. As you can see, and he holds up the rabbits here. Actually, if you're willing, you are more than welcome to come and join me in my camp for some rabbit stew. It should be more than enough, he says. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest going to the troll barrow this late at night anyway.
Okay, but then we know that the trolls are in the burrow, and if this new troll chief wants to do some weird ceremony where he eats the girl, or worse, I mean, we can't be late for that.
Alright, so anyway, he invites you guys to join him for some dinner and share his camp if you are willing.
Well, I don't know that shit's not gonna break loose tonight, so yeah, maybe we should scout the burrow.
Yeah, I think we should.
Sorry about that.
I think you should actually.
What's
There's no we in this equation.
what happened?
So he invited you guys to join him for some rabbit stew and share his camp for the night.
Ah, of course.
I said that we should maybe scout the burrow, because if they are gonna sacrifice the girl tonight, well, it would be stupid to miss that because we ate some rabbit stew.
Well, I mean,
Right.
if I try and sneak, I'll get caught. So.
Well, okay, I'll go, I guess.
Don't trip.
Well, try not to.
And don't try and be a hero on your own.
Hey, Mane, can you magic me up something to make sure this goes all right?
What? Well,
Yeah,
what are you talking about? Magic?
Yeah, man. What do you want about?
That's ridiculous.
Mane, it's just me, your boyfriend, and that guy who doesn't give a crap. You don't need to pretend.
My who?
Boyfriends. You think we didn't see you sneaking around with Korbli?
What? And Man is just like, what?
Right. It doesn't matter. You do what you do, okay? Do you have something to help me?
I don't have magic.
All right, you don't have magic, and would you have anything else than magic to help me then? Maybe you could pray to your friend in the sky?
I mean...
But that wouldn't be magic, of course.
Are you serious, Sulvig?
Well, I'm going in a fucking barrel full of trolls, so yeah, I'm serious.
don't go there now. Just it would be suicide. I mean, GM question here: is it very late in the evening? Because I assume like it was. We saw the skull later in the evening, which continued on, and then we found the hunter.
You reckon there's about less than an hour until dark?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing we can do in the dark. Like it would be suicide to approach at night.
I thought trolls they slept at night too.
Yeah, that's what we found out earlier.
And Korbli also knows. Korbli knows that the trolls have night sight, just like dwarves.
Yeah,
so
but they also sleep at night.
Yeah, they do sleep at night.
By the way, the barrow, the way I understand it, it's an underground complex, right?
Yeah.
So what the fuck does it matter if it's light outside or not? We're gonna be underground anyway.
It's got us there.
Right?
So let's take another little break. I need some more coffee, and you guys can discuss this during the break a little bit, what you want to do, and then we can keep going. Actually, we might even finish the adventure today.
Yeah.
There's still an hour left. You actually caught up with the other group. I think because since I played through this before with them, everything was kind of streamlined, and you guys, since you're only 4, there's not as much like crosstalk and stuff, so we just pushed through this quite quickly. But let's take another 5 and get some more coffee and stuff, and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
All right.
Let's start.
Oh, no, I mean, Ryan isn't here. Ryan isn't here.
That's
Oh, no.
okay. That's okay. All right, guys, we're back again. So you guys were discussing a little bit in the break here, and I also found my beautiful new book that I bought in the science fiction bookstore, The Vikings, and it says here, appearance and equipment. It says that the Norsemen took great care of their general appearance. The number of combs found on the Viking sites show a deep concern for grooming. Okay. Carved elk antler from Sigtuna in Sweden, depicting a well-coiffured warrior with an impressive handlebar mustache, shows this to be more than just an interest in delusing. Personal hygiene kits, some more highly decorative, have been found in both male and female graves. That's kind of like Swedish people nowadays. Care a lot about their grooming and their beautiful beards. Yeah. And here's a picture of a comb. Quite nice.
Yeah.
So what were you guys saying about your plans for the troll burrow?
Okay, so they was speaking about talking to them in some way. We can try that, but then I don't really want to or know how to speak to them, so I'm kind of making a plan B, let's say. And the reason I brought that fucking troll heads about was to scare them, because trolls are...
Apologies, some guests have come round, and I'm the only one home right now.
Oh, really? That's,
Well, my family have gone out shopping.
Ah, okay. Well,
So
we
the
can
times of
we can
That's
finish. I mean, we're probably not gonna do the burrow today anyway. I'm probably gonna stop it before, so we can discuss a little bit about your plans, maybe. But as you guys are talking, of course, he didn't really introduce himself, right?
No.
So he said, "Oh, by the way, sorry, I didn't give you my name. I'm not used to meeting actual people out here in the forest so much. I'm Freke Longblade. It's a pleasure to meet you all. It sounds. I'm sorry for listening into your conversation, but it sounds like you're making some plans for attacking this burrow. Why don't we do that in my camp, being a little bit more comfortable? We can talk. You can talk about this. I might even be able to help you find the burrow quite easily. I know this part of the woods quite well, and my camp is just a few minutes away from here."
All right.
yeah, that would be appreciated, I suppose.
Yeah.
So he takes you a few minutes away into the underbrush there, and as he said, the camp, you didn't see the camp until you were right in it. It's very well camouflaged, and he has like a kind of lean-to shelter with an additional like roof on top of the fire pit, and then he has his little tent and sleeping equipment under the lean-to there. There's quite a lot of space, probably enough space for all of you to sleep there. And as you sit down to discuss your plans, he starts making the rabbit stew.
I imagine he's better at cooking than me.
Well, at least rabbit stew, he's been doing that quite a lot, I reckon.
A question.
Mhm.
Sulvig was basically like that whole thing where he like talks about magic. Like, Mommy, do you have any magic? Like, was this ranger? What is it called? A long blade?
Mhm.
Yeah, was Longblade like listening into that?
I mean,
What
I
was
imagine
his
he was.
reaction?
He was standing right in front of you guys, and you didn't say
He's
anything
probably a
about
very perceptive fellow.
going away from him or anything, talking. So
He's not like me.
he didn't really seem to react though when you talked about magic, which
Okay.
is rare in itself.
Yeah. Fine.
What?
So
It's magic.
he stirs his rabbit stew, and it smells amazing already. He added in some roots and potato and stuff in there. And he says, you all seem like a very different bunch of characters.
Yes, you see, we're actually from a video, a game.
He looks at Korbli and say, if I'm not mistaken, you are a Korpikalli elf.
That's correct.
And you don't seem to be from these parts of the Stormlands, he says, and looks at Vig and Mane.
No, we're both from far off Westmark.
Ah, Westmark. I spent some time there in my youth.
You did?
Oh yeah, I've been all over the place. You don't think being a woodsman is everything done, do you?
I wouldn't know.
I was quite a long time ago. I was in Westmark, though I'm not really welcome in that part of the world anymore.
I feel like there's a story there, bud.
I know how that feels.
Let's just say it started with a family falling out, family disputes, so to say, and me and some of my closest family decided to spend more of our time here in the Stormlands instead.
But
That kind of stuff happens.
Do you hail from Westmark?
No. I don't, as you can see.
How did you go by that name?
Sorry?
Longblade.
Longblade. I'm guessing it's a joke. It really started as a joke from my brother. I don't really want to go into details though.
Oh, it's that kind of Longblade.
Alrighty then. You've been... Yeah.
By all means, continue your planning. I'm not going to disturb you guys.
All right, so troll burrows. How are they? Are they like badger burrows, or are they not created?
Are you asking Freike?
I'm asking everyone. So if someone wants to pitch them.
I've never seen a troll burrow.
Me
I
neither.
haven't either, but they're called burrows, right? So I guess that would be a bunch of tunnels with a bunch of chambers and maybe one or several entrances, but everything is on the ground, right?
So, burrow is kind of a name for all kinds of troll habitat. It could be a burrow in the ground, or it could be a cave. It could be like a camp in the woods. Anything, pretty much.
So we don't actually know what it is.
I just rolled a 2 on my monster lore check to like, what do I know of actual troll burrows? Like how are they usually constructed?
So a burrow could be, like I said, it could be like a human settlement that got abandoned that they took over. It could be like a small village or something like that.
Okay.
It could be a cave like the goblins have, or like the dwarfs, kind of in the mountainside. It could be like a mix between mountain and hill, like but they usually don't build anything themselves. Like they don't have the ability to build anything.
Okay, yeah, that's something then, because I was thinking of maybe they actually do have their own very specific type of burrows, but no. Okay, if a troll burrow is just a generic term for a big gathering of trolls that live in one place, then that place could look any way it wants to. Yeah, like that can be just a single room, or it could be a labyrinth of tunnels. It could be an abandoned dwarven fortress. It could be like, and I explained this to the group.
Yeah.
So I look at the hunter and I ask him, would you have any idea about how many trolls there are in this part?
Like I said, I generally avoid them, but it does seem like there's been quite a lot of activity these last few weeks. I'm hoping that this is not the case, but they might be gathering for a raid or something, which would be very bad. It hasn't happened in quite a long time, as far as I know. But I mean,
more than 3.
Yes, I would say so. I mean, as what I know about trolls, I mean, they can have everything from a few individuals to 100 individuals, depending on how powerful the leader is.
I don't think we can take 100 trolls, guys.
No, neither do
So
I mean,
I think we have to remove fighting them from the table.
But fire can.
again, we can't burn the burrow down because, even if it's a tunnel, like an actual burrow, we can't set anything on fire because the girl.
Of course, but
Yeah.
you haven't heard about fire spreading and the time that it takes. We can set fire to an entrance and go to the other and get the girl. And while the trolls are fighting the fire or fleeing, we escape with the girl and then we go on merry way.
I mean, how would we even do that? All we have is, if it's a tunnel, we'd need flammable liquid. We don't. And if it's a settlement, who knows? How are we going to make it spread? You just set one building on fire and that'd be it.
We're in the forest, right?
So we're going to burn the whole forest down when it's just been raining.
Well, if this is what it takes to kill 100 trolls that are going on a raid, I think it's an okay trade.
I don't think it'd kill them all.
Again, we don't know what the burrow looks like, so we can't know if that's a valid strategy.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, can't we just talk to them? If they're gathering, clearly they're talking to themselves at least.
Haven't you heard the man speaking? They can be a chief and they can be preparing a raid. I don't expect them to be...
We can't stop a whole raid on our own.
And how would you stop a bunch of raid-happy trolls?
To go tell the people they're going to raid. Who's nearby?
As you speak about talking to the trolls, Freke looks over to you guys and said, "Oh, do you speak Bastiumal, any of you?"
I know a couple of words, and I know how to make myself understood.
Yeah, I mean,
you?
They are smart enough to talk. I mean, they're probably not smart enough to understand, but you could probably talk to them if you want. I reckon they don't have much to say though.
Well,
but
we need to get this girl. We can't kill that many, any more than 4 trolls. There's only 4 of us. That's probably how many we could take. There's going to be more than that. So clearly the only option is to either sneak in, which all of us are terrible at, except one who has had no luck, and talking, which is probably the most likely one to succeed.
Well, you can try to talk while I go.
Well, no, we can't.
The back door.
Some of us can't try and talk and the other kill them, because then they'll kill us who are talking.
Well, I'm not
You've
gonna
got to
kill
pick
them,
one.
but I'll try and get the girl while you talk.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm not saying you're bad at sneaking, but I'm saying you're bad at sneaking, my friend.
Yeah, and if we are trying to talk and you get caught trying to...
Well, they don't know that we're together. I can just come from another way and pretend I'm not with you guys.
I mean, then you'll probably get murdered.
Well, let me worry about that, right? I can find my way out.
You can fight. Look, there's going to be a lot of trolls, and trolls are tough. But I don't think we can fight this. We just gotta. We gotta just. If you want to try and sneak in, go ahead. But you're probably going to get caught, mate. And I don't think we'll be able to save you.
Don't try. I will find my way out if I get caught.
I'm gonna look at I have Freke long knife.
Long sword.
Long blade.
Long blade, huh?
Long blade.
Damn.
I'm gonna look at him suspicious, keep an eye on him because Sulvig, what you sorry, what was that?
No, I thought you were gonna say something.
Sulvig.
Yeah.
what you asked about earlier.
Yeah,
I think I have something.
finally. All right.
But I'm keeping like a side eye at Longblade because like Mana is a bit paranoid, and you basically outed him as a mage in front of a complete stranger, but the stranger didn't react. So he's carefully testing the waters here, and he's gonna pick up a big stone, like a big stone, like of this size or something, like not a small thing, but like a solid stone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna look at it, and he's gonna look constipated for a little while. Yeah. And the rock bursts out into flames.
Okay. And you're doing this in front of
out of nowhere, no sparks, no nothing. Just the top of the stone starts burning with the intensity of a torch, basically. Like not a full like campfire, but at least a torch.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
As it does, Korbli is gonna act really surprised.
And
be like,
all right. Freke just look at you and smile knowingly, and says, "Did you want to put something on fire, Master Mone? We already have a fire going."
I was thinking we could trade the girl for my magic burning rock.
Why would trolls want that?
Because it's special. It's pretty.
Magic.
It's magic, and I'm gonna pick up a twig or something, hold it over the fire, and let it burn. And blow it out, and this will continue to burn for about a couple of more minutes, a short while more. But I could make it burn a lot longer. And when I'm gonna look at Korbli and like give him because of his reaction, like I'm gonna give him a bit of a sour look.
I mean, you don't need. Yeah, I mean, you could just use a torch.
What I mean is, why would they want to exchange the girl for a torch? But they might want to exchange the girl for my magic rock that will burn for eternity.
Can you make anything burn like that?
Yes.
And does it spread to other rocks?
If you touch, as I just pointed out, and he takes the stick again and holds it over the fire, and it starts to burn. Yes.
Right, but can it spread to non-flammable stuff like that rock, like other rocks?
No, not the magic in I put some magic in the rock to make it burn, and that fire will make other things burn, but not unless it won't make other rocks burn. No.
How big of a fire can you make out of something that is not flammable?
About this size, I'm afraid.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah, you go on and you try to trade your flaming rock.
I just mean that if we can convince them that my magical burning rock is very special, they might want to trade it for the girl.
But I mean, I don't know if they're gonna want to fire, because that's what they're gonna see. They're just gonna see it as just fire.
But how often do you see a burning rock?
So
yeah, but I don't think I see that as special.
Well, burning the trolls out of the burrow is stupid, but trying to trade them the burning rock is better, right?
For the people that manage their roles for knowing stuff about trolls before, you do know that they're very superstitious, and they, of course, they do find interest in magic and stuff like that, and power, and especially if this is a troll king or something like that, or a troll leader, they are like power hungry. That's why they have this kind of raids and stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
because he has
they
power
want
in
special and shiny things, and a magic rock that can that will burn without needing fuel on its own, but which can set other things on fire. Like that's special. That's very useful for a troll, even for just like to have.
Yeah, and that's
Okay,
like a
so
sign
then
of
they're
power,
gonna
perhaps.
use that to raid, and they'll
No.
use the infinite
gonna
fire.
end. We're just gonna not tell them that it's gonna end.
Yeah,
Well, then-
exactly.
Then they'll make them angry, and then they'll raid soon.
If I can make it burn for at least a couple of days, and
I mean,
and in that time we'll be far gone, and we'll be able to warn Magna and the dwarves.
I think it's worth a shot, Korbli says.
I mean, I've got no better ideas. I'll be honest.
I mean, we could walk in there and just, yeah, like say we would like to trade, and that we have this magic rock.
All right, you do that.
Hmm. Don't. I don't
And
have
I
any-
am surprised, Mr. Longblade, why you're not. You seemed like you've seen magic before, or at least you're not cowering and screaming and.
Well, the man is
Yeah.
called Longblade. He has a reputation to have bold.
And so he says, "Well, I have not always been a woodsman. You know, I've been traveling all over the world, and in my youth, I might have dabbled a little bit in the art of the Vitner, but I found it more relaxing to just spend my days here in the forest and enjoying a nice bit of hunting and some nice rabbit stew, which is, by the way, finished now if you guys want to taste it."
I mean,
Sure.
Korbli
won't-
gonna taste it.
I won't reject free food.
And the burning rock goes out,
Okay.
and he puts it down on the ground again or something. And the rock isn't warm. It's not warm at all.
Right.
It's completely unharmed by the magic. But then,
So yeah, I mean, he hands you all a bowl each of this really musty and nice thick rabbit stew, and he's just kind of looking at you guys while eating and just kind of asking some general questions like where you're from and like what you've been doing and how you found each other and stuff. And
I want to identify the stew for poison.
okay,
It's
do a
paranoid.
cooking roll or extracts, I guess.
Yes, I am good at that actually. Extracts and potions and stuff.
Why?
He's eating the same stew. He's not going to poison himself.
I don't find anything if there is
But
anything.
I'll make
Yeah.
a cooking roll.
It's a very well made stew. It's actually it's probably the best rabbit stew you ever eaten.
My God,
Really thick.
this is the
and
best
musty.
stew I've ever eaten.
Oh, thank you, my son. It's something I do. He doesn't seem too old. This guy now, as he pulled down his hood, and you can see his dark black shiny hair. He's quite well groomed except for the stubble, and he's older than you guys, but maybe around 30 or something like that. So still,
Not too much
still quite
older.
young. No, not maybe like 10 years or something older than you guys.
Yeah.
So, just for the record, Vic would be gobbling up his stew, and as soon as it's finished, he would leave.
Okay, sure. Do you want to leave to find the burrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
so,
are you going, Vig?
Well, I'm going to scout the burrow since we don't have enough information to make a intelligent decision about how we would go about it.
Okay.
Don't get caught. Don't trip.
As you as Vig makes his way away from the camp, and you guys are continue eating the stew and this kind of thing, he says, "So, which way did you take to come here?"
We went through the ravine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, with the goblins, huh? Did you talk with the goblins? Funny fellows,
Yeah.
those, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really understand what they were saying, but they
Do
let us
you
through.
speak this? Yeah.
Yeah, I spent some time with the goblins when I was younger.
You've spent a
Haven't
lot of
you done?
You've spent a lot of time with a lot of people when you were younger, but you don't look that old.
Yeah,
How old are you?
that's a good grooming for you. How
Sorry,
old
what?
am I? I'm not that old yet. I still have a few years left.
Few. You're many, my friend.
Thank you. I do look younger than my age, I guess. But I like to travel and get to know people and get to know creatures and see what's going on in the world, you know. But he says, so did you follow the path all the way here? And you must have come across the giant skull then.
Apparently.
That's a quite well-known landmark in this area, you know. I'm surprised you haven't heard about it before.
I mean, don't really travel a lot.
I guess so.
Normally stick to towns. This is more of a out of circumstance rather than.
Oh, that's fair enough. So, do you know the story of the giant skull?
I didn't even know giants were real.
Really?
Well, it was just myth.
Well, I can tell you the story if you want.
Yeah.
Or are you going with your friend?
No, we would rather hear the story.
And we think we would
get
get him in
caught.
trouble. He's better at sneaking than we are. So, yeah.
So I said, okay, let me tell you the story of Rudun the giant. So there was once this forest giant in this part, and his name was Rudun. And he had an older brother called Surdun. And Rudun, like all younger brothers, were very fond of his older sibling, and he always wanted to play with him and disturb him in whatever he was doing. But Surdun preferred playing with his favorite king troll, Ron. So Rudun was not very happy about this, of course, and he decided to win his brother over by making some food for him. So he started this massive pot of food, and as he was sitting down to stir his food, he, by mistake, sat down on top of Ron, the king troll, and killed him flat. Funnily enough, as giants or Jotuns are they live very long and they live very slow. I would reckon that Ron probably had a lot of time to get away from underneath the troll, the giant, but he, for some reason, decided to not move and die instead. So, of course, Rudun noticed him sitting on something, and as he looked underneath, he saw the king troll and thought to himself that it would be a shame to waste this kind of fresh and good meat. So he put the troll in the stew and added it to his food. And of course, he treated his older brother Surdun to this stew later, and he ate and was very happy about this, and it was very delicious. But of course, as the story goes, he later found out that he had been eating his favorite king troll all this time, and he was very angry with his little brother. He plotted his revenge for maybe 1,000 years or so, as as giants live a long life. And he finally got a chance. And at this time, Rudun had moved to this area here in this forest. And at that time, this forest was home to both elves and humans alike. And they lived in a kind of happy coexistence here. And Rudun was part of the ecosystem here and took care of the forest. And as giants do, they are generally friendly creatures in the beginning, and they're just there to take care of the forest. And when the humans came, he was quite surprised and wondered why did the humans come here and start shoveling the forest and building these houses and making these food, and he didn't really understand the way of the humans' life. So he started inviting them to his cave. And when I say invite, of course, I mean he kidnapped them. But as he was asking his questions, he never got the answers he wanted, and the humans usually died before he could get answers to all his questions. So he decided to take them when they were a little bit younger. So he started kidnapping children and babies, because then he could, have more time with them and ask them more questions. But he usually let them go around there when they were around 20 or so. When he was finished with them, and usually when they left, they managed to bring with them a lot of riches from that the troll had been gathering, like coins and jewels and stuff. And they brought them back to their families, and this area started to get pretty rich, and they have kind of a symbiotic relationship with this giant. And they didn't really mind him taking care of their young. So his older brother Surdun came to visit him and decided to return the favor and cook Rudun some food. But what Rudun didn't know was that Surdun used his human captors and put them into the stew and cooked food on the human flesh. And Rudun ate this food, and he said that was the most delicious stew he ever eaten. And of course, out of malice, his brother told him that this was actually your human guests that you've been eating. And ever since that day, Rudun got a taste for human flesh, and he started eating his captives instead of freeing them. And of course, the humans in the area started realizing that their brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers were not coming back anymore, and they made the choice to go and see what was happening. And they saw all of these bones strewn across Rudun's camp, and they realized what was going on and decided to try to kill the giant. But they were not powerful enough, so they had to take the aid of the elves. And the elves and the humans both worked together to kill the giant. And they managed in the end, of course. And as the giant died, he spoke a curse on the elves that he thought were his friends and his allies, but actually helped kill him. And he said that any elves coming close to the place where he died would have this curse upon them. And the elves, instead of taking the risk of this actually being a real curse, they decided to move away from this area, and slowly the humans had to move away as well, and that's why we have this empty forest here now. So I hope you didn't go inside the cave or anything, Master Korbli.
No, I didn't.
Elf and all. It might have been a bad choice on your part in that case, but who knows, maybe it's not really a real curse. I mean, giants are not known for their magic as far as I know. So that's the story of the giant Rudun.
Thank you for telling me the story. I will be sure to tell it, to spread it further. It's an interesting story.
Yeah, if the curse is true, you don't want to have a painful death. You don't want to suffer a painful death, as the curse was telling. And yeah. So what about your friend? So Sulvig you make your way out of the camp, and I guess you need to do a tracking roll to see if you can find the tracks.
Okay.
And you don't get any modifier on it.
Tracking is still 7. I'm still gonna fail. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really find the tracks.
Okay, so if I don't find anything, I come back and then I ask the Longblade's help.
So you come back in the middle of the story pretty much, and you hear the end of it.
Okay.
And Frek said, "Yeah, of course I will. I can probably take you to the burrow, but it's getting late. Let's do that in the morning."
Well, if the girl is in there in the trolls, I wouldn't trust them with her, so...
If they were intent on hurting this girl, don't you think they would have done that by now?
Well, you said yourself that there could be some kind of chief, and I expect trolls to have weird rituals, right? So maybe the point of bringing her there was just to sacrifice her.
Might be, but when how far ahead of you guys were the trolls?
A few hours, I think.
Well, then they would have been there for a few hours by now, right?
A few more hours from Turk.
Right. And if they were supposed to sacrifice this girl, they probably would have done that by now. It doesn't. I don't think it would matter if you start early in the morning and get a good night's sleep first. And I, for one, is not interested in going out in this damn weather at this late in the night.
Well, if you're not gonna help me, I guess I have to stay here then.
So we have about 5 more minutes on the session here, but I don't think we're gonna have time to actually do anything more for now. If you guys want to discuss some more or ask Freke Longblade some more questions or anything like that, we can do that for a little while.
I just want to say here, when we first saw him and everything, I asked if he looked like he was a Vitner weaver. I didn't mean just by the looks of him. I meant, did his Vitner, like with my magical sight, did I see the same way that I had identified Korbli and Korbli had identified me? Like, was he? Because, and then you said that he had dabbled in magic, and like that would have left a trace. I think like that would have.
So how does that really work according to the rules in this system?
There are no rules for it. It just says that a Vitner weaver can see the Vitner in other Vitner weavers and stuff.
You didn't notice any Vitner coming from him.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe he's one of those carvers that carve symbols.
Does the guy have a spear somewhere in his camp?
Have a what?
Spear.
Spear?
Yeah,
I mean, he has a hunting spear that he uses sometimes for hunting boar and stuff.
Okay, and it's a normal spear.
What do you want to do?
Why are you so intent on stealing from everyone we meet?
I'm just asking questions. Don't presume on my intent.
Sorry.
It's a normal looking spear.
Okay.
Just for hunting.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna sleep. Otherwise, I would have asked him for tips on tracking.
You can ask him some stuff if you want.
Well, then I will. I will tell him that as he said he did, I had to leave on the rough for some time in the forest, and he seems to be more experienced than I. So maybe he has some tricks and tips of the trades that he can share with me. Maybe I can teach him some stuff too. I don't know.
Yeah, it says, like I've been living here in this forest now for about 5 years. So I guess I've picked up a few tricks and stuff, and I know that the forest as quite well by now. Of course, I would be happy to show you how I do it when we go towards the troll burrow tomorrow. We'll have to find the tracks anyway, so I can show you how I usually spot the tracks easily.
All right.
Okay. Anybody else want to ask something?
I don't really have anything to ask him.
I will look at Korbli and like. So what was that earlier?
What?
Are you staring at each other?
I'm staring at Korbli, feeling a bit betrayed.
Oh, but how can we hold each other's backs if we're both being facing the end of the sword? That makes no sense.
Mana's not going to say anything.
Can we hear this?
They're
Or
talking to each other a little bit away from you guys, I guess, like they always do. You could go closer to see if you can listen in, though.
No, it's alright. Just if I saw them ahead.
I want to say that wasn't far away. Like that was around the fire. After a while, Mana's going to look at Korbli and say, "What was that earlier?"
Yeah, that I'm not going to respond that way. I assumed we were talking away.
Yeah, no. We were by the fire.
Okay, so how do you respond now?
I'm just gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. And Mana's not going to say anything else.
All right.
Love of fights. I would have given you longer.
And can I check on like? I just want to wonder what like the quality and like craftsmanship of his like bow and not, because I suspect, I don't know, I mean this is out of character, I suspect something, but I don't want to do that in character, but I just want to see if my character would, if Bodgeir notices anything, I don't know, not quite normal with the equipment that he uses.
Do a crafting check then.
For hard materials,
Yeah, if you want to look at the hunting bow and the weapons and stuff.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm not. I'm too trusting.
That's a really bad roll. So they look extremely normal to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like what any woodsman would have.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I would ask if there were any ravens, but that would be metagaming.
Ravens? No, there's no ravens. So
I guess we just rest there.
We didn't really end on a cliffhanger or anything today,
No.
which is too bad because you guys were so quick and you kind of went forward a little bit faster than. I think the other group, since they have 2 more members to begin with, that makes it much slower. And also they had a dwarf and they had a person that was raised by dwarves in their group, you know. So they had a lot of conversation and interactions with the dwarves that you didn't have.
We can't even speak the language.
Right. But I think it could be interesting for both your group and their group to watch each other's sessions. Just to kind of see how you went on it differently, because now you're pretty much at the same in the same place. Like they're gonna finish and they're gonna get to the burrow this session, I think. So you're like 1 session behind.
Okay.
So it could be fun for you guys to kind of see how they did up until now. But yeah, let's finish this there for today.
Yeah.
It's 4:02. So let's just go through some quick feedback and stuff, and I want to know, of course, about the overlay. What you think about it? I deleted the frame around the chat since we don't have so much chatter anyway, and it was kind of just lying there empty. And I moved down the view counter to next to my head. But other than that, what do you think about the overlay and stuff? Did you see the intermission and the be right back screen and stuff?
I didn't see them, but I did check in on the stream a couple of times, and like what I could see, it looked kind of cool.
I think it looks.
There was a lot of movement though in the borders.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So that's
it was kind of distracting.
That's kind of what I'm thinking about. If it's too much movement, there's also a version of this where it's not animated. But I kind of thought it was nice as well with some movement. It looks a little bit more.
I think maybe the one on the right with all the dice rolls and stuff, that one's fine being all animated and stuff because it's larger and you can kind of tell what it's doing better. But around the borders, it's a little too thin and it just kind of, its colors moving. And while it could look good if
around the player borders is totally...
Yeah, it's a little much around the player borders. Maybe on the names, but maybe not around the...
Sure, I can take a look at that. Anything else about the session or about what happened or anything like that? Or some questions you have about what you've been doing so far?
I mean, so this guy's like this version of Odin, right? Except don't answer that because I would spoil it if he's not, or if he is. Just don't answer.
Oh, so that's why you were asking about ravens. I was like,
yeah. I'm suspecting that this is this world's version of like Odin or Thor walking among the earth. You know, he's been living here for 5 years. He looks 30, and he's travelled all over the world. What is this?
Yeah,
Took us days to get past the ravine.
He sounds like a Mary Sue.
He could be a damn liar as well.
I mean, he might be, but I doubt it.
He didn't react to my magic. He doesn't look like he has any magic himself. It's just...
He's a god. He's a god.
It's
but I believe in gods, so he's
a
I kind of do, but not really. I'm just kind of doesn't really.
I'm just kind of sad because if my character knew anything about it, I would very much, as a player, like him to inquiry about that. But he doesn't.
Damn it.
Who knows?
That's my suspicions anyway.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I doubt. I don't even think we'll ever find out. Maybe we'll meet him in a year again, and he hasn't aged. What?
Who knows?
You still look like you're 30, even though you should be 31.
If anything could make Viggy religious again, that would be meeting gods, the real person.
Yeah, but this is a different religion. Stormland.
Yeah, but I mean, meeting gods is a much better religion, right? If you can meet your god. Obviously.
I don't know.
That's kind of why religion in role-playing games make more sense most of the time. Because you can actually meet the gods.
Actually, they sometimes just chill out. And they give people magical powers. How can you deny it?
Right, exactly.
In the real world, there's no priests going healing and he actually just healed like a broken bone.
Some people pretend to do that.
There are people who claim to be able to do that, but nobody has ever.
Yeah, but in tabletop, you can do it reliably.
Yeah,
you can sell the service in some worlds.
Well,
I like that you say that to Mane, that you can heal reliably.
That's because he's brand new. He's been doing it for like 3 days.
I mean, give me a couple of minutes, and a constant like retry of the spell, like because
he's been doing it for 3 days and he's already healed like mortal wounds.
Actually, I think the healer in the first group did worse than Mane. Like he tried to heal himself and stuff. Well, I think the healer was the one that got hurt. And then the guy with the healing spell wasn't there that session.
That is unfortunate. Because the thing is, if the healer gets hurt, then he's worse at healing.
Right, exactly. So that didn't go so well. But
so really, you need 2 healers to heal each other.
But I let them. I actually helped them out quite a lot because it was the first fight, against Husk Wild and his highwaymen, and he got hurt, super hurt, because the dwarf of the gang in Group 1, he decided to jump up on the wagon and drive it across the battlefield to try to hit the other people.
Wait. They fought the herdmen that they met on the road,
or the highwaymen.
The highwaymen.
You know the guys in the cave.
Okay,
but they met them on the road.
The dangly ball men. Okay.
Yeah, but they met them on the road. So he drove the wagon, but of course he managed to hit the healer and did like a lot of damage. Oh, yeah, he's in the chat right now. Nerny is in the chat right now. And that's the guy that did it in the Group 1. And He managed to hit some enemies as well, and that was quite nice. But he fucked him up, so he got like a -7 on everything he did, and he didn't manage to bandage himself. And I let them get some healing stuff in Bearfield that I don't think even exists in the game. The midwives helped healed you guys in the Bearfield farm and like put some salve or some kind of.
It's a healing potion, but this one doesn't have healing. It's from another reality across the dimensions.
Yeah, it wasn't a healing potion, but it was like they covered the cuts and stuff with this kind of poultice, you know, and then they got a lot of BP back that they shouldn't have gotten. But
I mean, it's about having fun, you know.
Yeah.
And dying on the first go,
sleeping on the road.
Exactly, and this was like the first combat they ever had, just like for you, and they didn't know how to do it properly. And you need to let them have some fun and have a chance to be part of the next part of the adventure, or else he would have been like in a coma, lying on like somebody had to carry him around and stuff. So
almost like what happened with Mana. So it's nice to hear that they had it worse then.
How many did they fight? Because we had like 3 guys and the big one.
They had. I put out 6 people for them. And they were fighting in an ambush, you know, like they got ambushed on the road, and they had like a broken cart so they couldn't move on, and they had like a little hill on the side where they have 2 archers.
I think I actually saw that bit. I think I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah, they were pelting them with arrows and stuff, and then they had people in the bush, and also the main guy, of course. So their healer was also the rangers, so they kind of pelted him because he was shooting to them and stuff. Okay, so cool. I actually got a pop-up here just now from Riotminds to my email. You know, I don't know if the people watching the stream know, but we've been talking about it in Discord at least, that I did a sample for them for translating from Swedish to English. And they just answered me back, and I just saw a little bit of pop-up there, but it looked like they said, it looks really good. So I might have a chance to work with them a little bit.
Oh, nice.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. So let's finish there for today if nobody else have anything to say or comment. And thank you for the stream, and I hope you enjoy our new beautiful layout here. Maybe I will take a look at not having so much movement around the borders, but yeah, cool. Anyway, don't forget to follow us, and to if you're on YouTube, to subscribe. And also, you can give us a tip. We did get some people giving us some tips out of Twitch to help pay for our beautiful Zoom. Thank you guys for doing that. And you have the world down there. You have the link to Discord if you want to come and join us. We often talk and discuss rules and stuff and that kind of thing. And there's a lot of material that you can use to make your life easier in your Trudvang life, at least. Nice having you. And bye.
Bye.
Bye.